Well, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us. For the first time, the Department of Public Works has negotiated a deal with the local asphalt plant to open in January and begin producing the hot mix that's needed to patch holes. Hot mix is an asphalt mix that lasts longer and adheres better than the asphalt mixes typically used during the colder winter months. DPW is conducting a repair blitz from today through Friday with up to 20 DPW crews and 3 additional contracted crews out each day that they can go out. DPW expects to use 300 tons of hot mix per day and will begin by patching the major thoroughfares that or for which we have received a high volume of Mayor's Action Center requests. Now, these high volume roadways include Keystone, College, Michigan Road, 10th Street, Raymond, and 38th, which we'll be working on this afternoon. But the city of Indianapolis needs all of Indianapolis's help in this regard. In order to patch these potholes, we need to know where the potholes are, and residents are our number one resource. So no matter what size pothole you happen to run across, you can report potholes by calling the Mayor's Action Center, pinpointing them online at indy.gov/requestindy, or downloading the Request Indy app on your smartphone. And finally, when you see our crews out working, please slow down. The patching process requires a high temperature mix and drivers who need to use extra caution for the crews to work successfully. With your help, we will repair all of Indianapolis's streets so that our city remains a safe place for all to live, work, play, and yes, drive. So I thank you. Mr. Director, do you have any comments you'd like to add? By the way, I'm very glad to be joined today by Vice President of the City County Council, Zach Adamson, and Councilor Duke Oliver. This is your district, right,
yes,
Duke? Okay, good.
Thank you for coming. Only barely.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This effort that we're putting forth today, the mayor talked about the 20 DPW crews that are out there today. That's 120 personnel that are out there. This required a 7-day notice with the contractor to get started so they could get the plant started. As of 1 o'clock, we had already put down 170 tons of asphalt, and we had already closed out, sealed up over 6,000 chuck holes. This is going to continue as long as Mother Nature gives us weather like this, but I'd like to reiterate one thing that the mayor stressed. Please look out for our crews. It is dangerous work working out in the street. They are dedicated to trying to keep Indianapolis's streets safe for commuters. Please keep them in mind. I would like to thank all of the people standing behind us here who are with DPW Street Operations. Our union president, Steve Quick, is with us here as well. Thank you for your support in doing this for the city. Our folks live and work in the city just like everyone else, and they are dedicated each and every day to go out and do the things necessary to keep folks safe. So these folks that are out working the crews, filling the chuck holes, they are the same drivers that go out when we have a winter event. So they wear many different hats during the winter time. So our thanks to them and their families for sacrificing during our winter months. And Mayor, I don't know if you want to take any questions.
Yeah, questions?
Mayor, a lot of these roads are in such disrepair they're beyond taxes. They need repaving. How much money do you think the city's going to get this year from the new gasoline tax? How many more roads or bridges can you fix and repair this year than you have in previous years?
Well, let me take a crack at it, and I'll defer to the director. We did, thanks to the council's support, we passed a comprehensive construction infrastructure package that is $550 million over the course of 5 years?
Up through 2021.
Through 2021. So, in answer to your first question, Rich, I think we're going to. It's estimated we'll get $20 million in the gas tax increase, and that's obviously $20 million. I'm deeply grateful for because it's $20 million that we wouldn't otherwise have, and obviously with the council's support and their leadership, we're going to be able to turn that into a long-term infrastructure improvement plan. What does that mean for the next year? Dan, 100 million?
For roads this year alone will be 90 million in construction. The other dollars are about $36 million in stormwater funds that are going to be deployed for infrastructure improvements. So, I mean, this street out here, through Councilor Oliver's efforts, is going to be rebuilt come the spring.
But last year you got 70 lane miles done. How many lane miles did you do?
Melody?
How many we got scheduled, Melody?
Exceeding 90 miles.
Yeah, it's a common dilemma that our city faces. It's been estimated to me that if we truly had the money to really bring our roads, bridges, walkways, sidewalks, curbing back up to adequate standards throughout the entire 400 plus square miles of the county, you're talking about over $1 billion in infrastructure. Huh? 2 billion, $1 billion to 2 billion. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's too much money for our budget, but I think a over $500 million investment between now and 2021 will help us keep the roadways as calm and as safe as we can keep them.
Mayor, how important is it for residents to speak up when they see that?
Yeah, as I said, Joanne, the truth is, every resident's eyes and ears are the best intelligence we have, and that's why I encourage them to contact the Mayor's Action Center or to otherwise let us know. And it doesn't need to be an overwhelming pothole, although we'll try to prioritize the gaping holes that exist in many of the roadways first. But we want to make sure that we have the ability to be aware of and patch every pothole. So their eyes and ears are our best intelligence.
Mr. Mayor, Indianapolis, Indiana pays 2 times the local tax of Carmel, Indiana, and I drive in Carmel frequently. There's not an issue there. Recently, I got back from a 2,600-mile road trip to Denver, Colorado, and I drove only through cold weather states. The only place I encountered any road issues was St. Louis, but the rest of the drive was perfect. Now, I'd like to know, how is it that we have 475 more residents per square mile, that means taxpayers, than Carmel? Yet Carmel doesn't have this issue.
Well, I guess the easiest answer I have is that Indianapolis, I believe it's correct, is the only major urban area in the country where the local income tax that every resident pays, that income tax goes to their county of residence and not to the county where the income is derived. In other words, if every local income taxpayer paid their local income taxes where the income is derived, that money would come to Marion County. That's not the way Indiana's tax system is structured. In fact, we have many thousands of individuals who derive their income every day right here in Marion County, but their local income taxes go back to the contiguous counties where they commute in from.
And likewise, if I worked in Carmel, I would pay tax here, correct? By living in Marion County.
If you lived here, and there is, to a degree, there is some residents who live in Hamilton County, or excuse me, live in Marion County and who work in the contiguous counties. But by far, the number is disparate between it's not a question of increasing anybody's taxes. It's really a question of tax equity and distribution.
I just don't understand how I'm paying twice the local tax of my friends at work that live up there.
Do you want me to share?
But my property values, I believe, are going to be decreasing. I live on Central Avenue. The street is undrivable. I'm worried that
It's going to be rebuilt this year.
I didn't see it on the list.
Central Avenue is going to be rebuilt this year from 38th to Westfield and from Fort Wayne to 25th.
From 38th to Westfield, and then from Fort Wayne to 25th.
That's correct.
I didn't see it on the Department of Public Works site. Is it not uploaded
It
yet?
is in the 2018 infrastructure plan. Mayor, we're going to need the crews.
That's good news. That's good news.
You mentioned that you contracted 3 different crews outside of
Yeah.
DPW. Are there any thoughts of maybe contacting more?
Those are all we can get.
Yeah, that's the three that we've contracted with are the only three that were available right now. So, if the budget would permit it, we'd contract more, and we may very well do so if future events occur. Thank you all for coming, and let's get to work.